Now, you know what? This is a perfect time for Corey to be here, right? Because Corey is a Bulls fan, and Corey, I don't know if you know this, but Ash, she's representing the Knicks of she's the head of our negotiating staff. She's head Viking in charge, right? So when the trades go down, yes, when the trades go down, and we're trying to figure out who we're swapping and who we're trading, we're sending Ash on the front line. So here's our question, right?
Okay.
We all know that Zach LaVine, he's been in rumors recently. The Knicks and other teams are monitoring the Zach LaVine situation, right? So we Knicks fans, we throw our own trade scenarios out here. Ooh, we'll give out, usually a second round pick for Zach LaVine. We usually say something crazy like that, right? My question to you as a Bulls fan is, as a fan, who are you willing to trade for Zach LaVine? And
let's talk
does
business.
That include a combination
Come on.
of Frank Knox, a second rounder, and maybe 2 more second rounders? So second rounders.
I actually adjusted my trade offering a little bit. I said I'll give Kevin Knox, Frank. Mm-hmm. I said Austin Rivers.
Rivers. That's a good value deal.
I'll throw DSJ in there, and a first round pick for Zach LaVine.
First round pick, 2023.
What do you? Come on,
really sweeten the deal.
That's the deal.
Look, we're gonna have to get like the fantasy, commission to veto this to even going through the pipeline. I don't think the Knicks and the Bulls are good trade partners. I mentioned it before. I don't know if my mic was working earlier in the stream, but I think that Zach LaVine is definitely not like off the table for teams, just like I think Julius Randle is not off the table for teams. Mm-hmm. But I think that with the play of a guy like Zach LaVine, like Julius Randle, the price has gone up because they're balling out. Zach LaVine's at like 28 points a game, basically 50, 40, 90. He is straight up hooping right now. And I think that just like the Knicks, the Bulls have a new front office, a new coach. It's a very similar situation. And I think that with Zach LaVine's play, he's on a $19 million a year contract this year and next year. So value deal for the production that he gives you. I think that the Bulls are going to look at this. The front office is going to look at it and say, why are we not trying to put pieces around him to build? Why are we going to go backwards again? And I think the Knicks are going to be in the same spot, right? Like Julius Randle, it's Julius and Zach. It's like, what are we going to do? Are they a part of the future? How much are we going to want to pay them to now? Are they going to be able to do this consistently? Is this who they are? That's more so the question. And I think to do that, both teams are going to want to put better players around. So I don't think that either team with those guys who I think are very similar and the impact they're having for their franchises, I don't think they're going to be on the move. This is not a Marcus Morris situation where you're just like, yo, let's get a late round pick. Let's get the value while we can. Because I think both guys are proving that they're still young, still growing, still getting better. And, I think both teams are just going to say, let's see what we have. I mean, especially now that with Zach.
But does that work for Zach, though, is the question. Because he's, 25 right now? Yeah. So 25 years old, you're kind of in your prime. I consider prime basketball years between 25 and like 30, 29, depending on the guy.
No doubt.
If you're a basketball player in your prime like Zach LaVine is, are you okay waiting that out? Or do you request to be traded to a team that shows some promise? Because I think the Bulls, just like the Knicks, depending on who you ask and depending on how you value certain things within the sport of basketball, the Bulls may have more work to do than the Knicks do per se. And if I were a guy like of Zach LaVine's talent, I don't want to waste my good years while you guys try to figure it out. Like, that's not my problem.
What's interesting though? Last year, the Bulls, Zach wanted to leave last year because the Bulls were having problems, right? It was a coaching problem. I'm not sure what
everybody wanted to leave Jim Boylan. I don't even want to. I don't like saying his name. He's like holding.
Yeah, so I don't know if that situation is exactly changed. So I don't know what his mindset is right now, but that might have left. Now at the same time, I do feel like some of the Knicks pieces, just because of the market we're in, when somebody does a little bit well, it just blows up. Case in point, Emmanuel quickly on the back page, and the Nets a little bit of corner when he scored 145 points. Somebody cared, right? That's what it seemed like. That's the perception. That was the perception. So I will say this, like, because of our market and because of the couture of the allure of New York, I do feel like guys like Kenny Payne and Tom Thibodeau, they might attract players, but I'm not sure how much of that is going to affect Zach LaVine at this point, considering I feel like they're on the edge, right? They're kind of in the same situation we are at, where they're teetering around 500, and they could go either way depending on the situation.
Yeah, you nailed it. Last year, everybody wanted to leave. This year, new front office, new coach, Billy Donovan, a guy who's won national championships at Florida, had success as a coach in the league with Oklahoma City. He's playing the best basketball of his career. The Bulls are in the playoff hunt. I think everything that he was unhappy about last year, he is now happy about. That doesn't mean he's satisfied. It doesn't mean he doesn't want more. But for him, like, if you're Zach LaVine and you're going to request a trade, it's not to do, some lateral move. And I think he would look at New York as a lateral move, because it's not even like about the market, right? Because Chicago is one of the biggest markets in the league. It's not like he's playing for, Minnesota or Cleveland. He's playing for one of the, 3 biggest markets in the league. And then, it's the same kind of situation. Great coach, new front office. To me, if he's trying to leave, he's going to go to a Denver, one of those teams that's on the edge. They just need that person to put them over the edge. So to me, that's not New York. And can I see that happening? If the price is right, sure. Because like I said, he's not the level of player that you just say he's untradeable, right? He's a guy, he hasn't been to the playoffs
Same
yet.
Like Julius Randle's.
Same thing. Right. Yeah. So, but you also don't want to just give him away and give up on him, because he's a guy who's averaging nearly 30 points a game on, 50, 40, 90 shooting. So to me, I think they're going to put pieces around him. If some team comes in, blows him away with, the Bradley Beal package, maybe. But I think they're going to try to build with him. I think, that's why the Lonzo rumors are coming around, because I think they're going to try to put and Lonzo rumors to New York too, right? It's the same thing. They want that connector. Like these two teams, they're so similar. They're so in sync right now. So I think they want to put the pieces to see if, hey, can this guy be a playoff guy, and what happens when he gets in the playoffs? So that's what I think. Personally, I don't know. The new front office, very tight-lipped. Nobody really has a read on him. It seems like Woj is the only guy who has accurate reporting.
Right, for sure.
The last Bulls regime, it was, a lot of the beat guys had really good info, and now it's nothing. So, I don't know if the Lonzo rumors are true. I don't know if, what's up. It'll happen when it happens, Woj bomb style. But I think they're going to try to build around Zach, at least going into the offseason. And if they do trade him, they'll trade him at the deadline next year before they have to, throw the bag at him.
Yeah, and same for Julius Randle. The exact same situation.